Hey, Julio.
Hi, how's it
Uh,
going?
yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, really
And
fine.
well, there's a long time we don't meet.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You're in certain
time
deal.
goes by.
You're in Matão now, right?
Yes, I'm in my town.
Ah, yeah, that's awesome. Matão, just to situate a little bit, I know more or less the area, but Matão
Mhm.
it's close to Americana, which city?
Actually, is it near Araraquara
Right.
and Jaboticabal?
Ah, that's
Is it
cool.
nearby as well?
That's nice. I have relatives in Raquara.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, I know you have lived in Campinas before, so you spent some years here in Goiânia, right? How much time did you stay here in Goiânia?
For about 2 years.
2 years. And we met for the first time at Munchers, right?
Yes, yes. The long time ago it was called Munchers.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yes. I like that no Munchers.
Yeah.
And Munchers became English Brazil, and
Sure. It became
yes.
English Brazil.
So came the pandemic and the people stopped to meet, just online meetings.
Hmm.
And on that time, I remember you moved to Matão. You came back to right.
Yeah, at the end of the pandemic, I moved to Matão.
Hmm. Yeah, and so tell me about it. How did you start your history? Like how did you decide to open a group? You open a group of English Brazil, right?
Sure, that's it. We started in with English Brazil, yeah, a long time ago. And when I moved to Matão, I thought, well, it would be nice to have these groups here because it's a great opportunity to get together people that love English and want to develop English. And so I decided to establish a new group here
And
to help people to develop their English.
were you the first?
Here with this proposal,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I guess I'm the first one here
Uh,
with this proposal.
Probably never had anything before, right?
People don't recall to have something like that here, and many people uses it with classes. Yeah, most people think that I'm asking them to join a conversation class. But the point is that it's not a conversation class.
No,
It's quite different.
it's no.
Yeah.
It's not the idea. And how many inhabitants are there in Matão?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it has nearly 6,000.
Right. It's
60,000. I beg your pardon. 60,000.
60,000. Right. Not so small. That's cool. And how I know the beginning is very hard, especially in a place that nobody never heard about us, right? Probably the
Yeah.
people that we have tools like Meetup, but probably nobody knows Meetup. So I think the beginning would be had been very hard for you. How was your start in Matão?
Well, it was really hard to start because I decided to start it at the beginning of this Actually, it was at the end of last year. So the pandemic policies were still on, and there are many people afraid of going to cafes, and going to cafes, it's not something of the culture of Matão.
Ah, right,
To
right.
make things worse.
And in
So,
Matão, how are you running your meeting? Which day of the week? Once a week?
well, I tested several days and several times
Mm-hmm.
during this whole moment, here
Mm-hmm.
with the Matão group. So I started offering the meetings on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, I changed it to the mornings, Sunday mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went back to Thursday nights, and none of them have made any effect. So I decided to do it on Saturday afternoons.
And that you got
When I changed it to Saturday afternoons, it started to make some
results.
results.
That's cool. And how many people are attending the meetings now?
4 to 5 people.
Yeah, that's a good number. Actually, for this kind of meeting, we just need two, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Um, Here in Goiânia, most of times come 10 people. Sometimes you go just three. Sometimes it goes more. Depends of the activity. And now the people require some places with games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because 2 meetings ago we went to a place where they have game of dart, and so the people like the experience. So we'll try this approach to see what happens. But I think the
Mm-hmm.
way is like you do. And did you try to make some media, for example? Well, how did you spread? How did you said to the people? Now we have English meeting in Matão. How did you spread this news there?
Oh, we didn't pay for advertisement.
Hmm.
The idea was to tell everybody that I know that I was doing something like that. Yeah. And ask them to spread the news to the ones that might be interested
But
on joining.
how did you find these
Hmm.
people that would be interested? Was people that you already know before?
Actually, I just created a folder
Mm-hmm.
on WhatsApp
Mm,
and also created a group on Facebook.
mm.
And, and I started to send to the people that I know here in Matão and people in the cities nearby. People I know from Araraquara, people I know from Jaboticabal, people I know from Ribeirão Preto.
Ah, right, right. All the other cities nearby. And do you know if,
Yeah.
for example, Ribeirão Preto is a quite bigger city? Do you know if, for example, in Ribeirão Preto, if they have some groups, something like that?
Well, they sure have that there. But the point is that perhaps there are people in Ribeirão Preto that know people in Matão, and these people in Matão said to the people in Ribeirão Preto that they would like to go, we would like to join, but it's afar from them. And suddenly they discovered that there is a similar group here in Matão. So it had happened with a person from Araraquara. He jumped on his motorcycle and went to join a meeting. That
Yeah,
happened
that's
because
awesome.
they don't have anyone in Araraquara to have a conversation with.
I think I'm a kind of guy now. If I if I would travel around the country, for sure, each city I would stop, I would look for a group like that. I think it's would be the best way to make an interaction of the city, doing something like that I like, and I think that it helps the city. It's you are create something to the city. You are create something that doesn't exist. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this thing. The city doesn't have this thing. Oh, let's do it. It doesn't have. I will make it. That's not the problem. I think this is amazing. And the idea is that someday we could spread in a way that there are people just passing by, spend a night, and the people maybe will know this kind of meetings and get the information. Oh, I know I'm stopping in Matão and I know there is this kind of meeting. Let's go there. Let's see the people. Let's exchange some ideas. Ah, well, really, really nice job. Congratulations. And I think you make
Yeah,
something very
it's a
hard.
cultural.
You
Yeah, it's a cultural asset for the city, no doubt about it.
and I can imagine because
It
here
surely
here
is.
in Goiânia it's difficult to make something like that. You can imagine in Matão, right? Yeah,
Pretty
you are
hard.
a
Pretty
warrior.
hard.
You are really a warrior.
I'm still in the battle, to tell you the truth,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
many people don't get the idea, you know.
All right. One thing I would like to ask, for example, how uh, how the people when they go to this kind of meeting, it's in our case just English meeting. The people can keep English all the time, or they try maybe speak some Portuguese, come back to English. How does it work? How do you deal with that?
Well, it's a good point. The point is, I am trying to make a relaxation time, you know. So I offer them to keep the conversation in English. But if the day that we started, for example, if we go to a day and there are more intermediate people than advanced people,
Hmm.
I offer them a 10 minutes break on English
Hmm.
because they get tired and get stuck, and I mean this to be pleasant, you know. So when I see that there are many intermediate levels in the meeting that day, I offer them 10 minutes break of English, and then we resume so they can relax a little bit for practicing, because only advanced people that can get onto 1 hour straight in English, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very something very tiring. I I remember when I used to do some trip when I not use it for that. Even speaking well, it's impressive when you are not used with that. How tired you get. Now I feel okay, comfortable. But some years ago, incredible how tired I get. And I was not speaking bad at
Hmm.
that time. I was speaking good. Ah, that's nice. Uh, I miss it. Right, you know me, right? We participated many meetings together. I'm a very strict person about that. I'm not so tolerant about that. That's not because maybe that's because the group is not so big. I saw that when you relax something, right? You do something open, the group become bigger, right? But I will not dare to say which way would be correct. I think should exist options. I think should exist both ways because I know that there are people that they prefer that really, really strict meeting like we do here, right, in our group, specific groups. Not so large the number, but the people go there is keeping going always and always. And there are people who prefer something relaxed. I think the large number prefer something much more relaxed, especially because it's so hard to find people who speak English. Impressive, really, really impressive.
Yeah, yeah. But the point is, each group must deal with their own reality.
Yes,
That's the thing. You must adapt to the public, to the audience, you know. And most of the meetings here in Matão, it's with uh, uh, intermediate learners, you know. So if I don't do that, they will get frightened and
yeah,
will never go back.
I got it.
Will never come back, actually.
Yeah,
So,
but at least you had the experience that I never had, like the English teacher, right? So I think you can handle the
yeah.
situation much better than me. Uh,
The point is that sometimes they ask about mistakes and things like that, and they say, "Well, this is not a class, you know,
yes, you
but
just
you can learn from the others." So start paying attention the way people say. Start paying attention, and you can get many things from that.
yes,
Because it's not a class; it's a practice. You know, I'm not here to judge you,
yes, not
to correct you.
exactly, not to judge and even not to teach, right? You're just there to talk. That's all, right? If you would
Mm-hmm.
teach, maybe you would be charging for teach, but you're not teaching there. You're just talking. It's just a get together, a conversation meeting. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Many people do not.
And
I have friends.
yeah,
Uh,
sometimes we have an issue with something that starts building up like a debate, you know. And these points are really hard for them because one side can handle the language better than the other side, and then the other side it's like losing their argument and suddenly it starts to get angry with that.
yes,
It's a hard point to get, you know. Sometimes you have to interfere.
I saw a situation like that. I remember a meeting, a polyglot meetings. I was in Brasilia when I attended this kind
Hmm.
of meetings, with just polyglot, all languages. But they separated by language. And there is a guy with a very basic English, but he he was crazy to speak, but he was too limited, and he started to get nervous, and he started saying, "I will say Portuguese. I will say Portuguese," because he wanna tell something he couldn't tell. He get nervous, and he just gave a fuck off, let's say like that, and start to tell everything in Portuguese. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't not sure if I did the good or the bad thing. I just said, please don't do that. When I said that, I think he got more nervous than he was, and so he decided to speak the history he wanna report in Portuguese.
Yeah. The thing is, if you can't tell it, you just take note and try to tell it the next meeting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Go
That's
do
a good
some
point.
research,
Yeah,
and things would go better next time, you know. Sometimes you have to learn that you got to learn. So you have to do some research, and that's the point. Sometimes I leave pieces of paper on the table and pencils so people can get and make some notes, you know.
mm,
It's really useful for them.
Interesting.
because it would say, I can't tell this I can't tell this at the moment in English, but how would I say that in English? So you take note, and next conversation, next meeting, you can talk about it. Oh, last meeting we were talking about that. I would like to tell you about this situation, and then he shows up and he presents his case again. No problem at all, you
Yeah,
know?
interesting. I never thought something about that. That's an interesting idea. Well, today
Mm-hmm.
our group, you know, our group is very. I hope you would attend the meetings. We will be here in July, right?
Yes.
So we will meet.
I'm sure that I'll be attending.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
It
awesome.
would be a pleasure.
Most of the people of our group here are advanced levels, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that just uh, I think we rearrange something like that. People are just be, especially the advanced speakers, right? They felt comfortable with this kind of meeting, like very strict. There is no dangers of nobody speaking Portuguese. Because something that I learned like in Brazil, I talk with some friends, is that especially who are advanced, they don't use to complain. They just quit. For the beginners, everything is amazing, everything uh, is nice because they are learning, right? And there are people who speaks very well. So they don't like to, they don't care to talk with beginners. They like to talk with beginners, but there are other people who do they don't have patience and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this situation. But these people, they don't complain. I think they would think that complain about something like that. Oh, I don't want to be with beginners. I think we will, maybe they think would be impolite. Maybe it would be. They just quit. So I
Mm-hmm.
think our meeting really attracted these people. But at the same time, a lot of the intermediate start to come, and there are some people intermediate, but they insist a lot, and they are developing. They're getting. But I think they do home what you suggest now. I think they take the homework. Oh, I cannot express myself here, but I have an idea. Let's practice and try next. I thought that was amazing idea. But
Yeah, I see no problem. If you misses one word here, one word there, I can provide the word if I
mhm.
remember. No worries about that, you know. But if you go in in this way and you can express in most of the words you need for the case, then we have a problem, you know, because it would require a class for you to do that. So I'll have to get, for example, 10 words for you to express your idea. So it's going to be a kind of a burden to the group, you know?
Do you know?
And that's something I really need to avoid. But the point is that I'm starting a group here. So I'm forcing them to develop every time they can't tell they can't express the idea. So I'm forcing them to develop. So it's I guess the basic idea here is to set the aim of the group.
Mhm.
What's the aim of the group? The aim of the group is to collaborate in the development. Okay, so we can have intermediate speakers on it, but the aim is to practice and only practice in several aspects. So I must only admit people from high intermediate or advanced levels.
Yeah,
Yeah. But if I start putting a high barrier to that, I will have no attendance here.
yeah.
It's my situation, you know.
Yes, I think if both of you, if we live in the city of São Paulo, that would be a problem. Maybe we could do different meetings with different levels. But even in
Yeah.
Guyana, I think it's not so easy. You can imagine in Matão, right? And there is one problem that I say that, let's say maybe a bigger problem that I think there is no way to fix is talking about couples. It's very hard
Yeah,
to, you know what I mean, right?
it is.
I think the people don't think about that, but I think many people wanna come, but they don't come because their spouse, their husband, their wife, right? Because it's hard. It's uh, it's hard to find a couple that both of them speak English, right? And both would appear. I think
Yeah,
even here we
yeah.
have a very few situations.
I have a very embarrassing situation because a person wanted to join the group and I say, oh, okay, but due to the pandemic, there are few places that allow us to get. So I gave her the the location of the meeting, the time, and everything was set. And what happened? The day of the meeting, the person did not attend, but some hours after, I received a call from her wife. Yeah,
Hmm.
she was a woman and she had a wife, and her wife was thinking that I was harassing her in a sexual way, you know. So it was really embarrassing because she said, "Oh, she's married and she's my wife,
Oh,
and how could you do that?" Well,
like you were hitting her.
I was talking with a person interested in developing their English, and she 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 made a lot of confusion and say, "Oh, my bad. I didn't mean that, but you're invited to go and to stay there. Nobody's going to talk in this manner with your wife. No worries about that. And I would invite you to know me better, if possible, to make some amendments to this invitation. I didn't mean to do that, but it was really bad, you know. I'm not
Mhm.
sure about you if you have facing something like that, but that's something I had to face, you know.
No, for sure,
Sometimes
never
people
something
don't
similar.
understand the full idea of the event, you know. So that's why I always try to explain everything to the person who is interested. Everything. To tell how it goes, um, what is expected for you and what is expected from the group. The rules of the group must be really clear, not to make any confusion. It's really hard, but nowadays I do this. I want to everybody to be fully concerned of how it's gonna take, how it's gonna be.
I used to say here for the people, for example, for the single people who love this kind of meeting, so put this
Mm-hmm.
requirement on the Tinder profile, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity, but when it's not single anymore, so it's complicated. I just I saw many people that just don't come because of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And one thing that we want to try to develop, we made one time, but we try to do, and it also much or attractive. It's doing things bigger than just a meeting. For example,
Hmm.
we had one time a lunch. Um, I have a lounge space here in my building. I just rent it and share the value. The people group came, cookie. I think the most on that day I think about 30 people. I never got a meeting so full like that. And we are thinking about maybe something like just to go to Pirinópolis or something like that. Still planning, but I think that can have a rent a van and for example, go to Pirinópolis and try to make a meeting there. Something that I have a
Hmm.
plan.
Interesting.
Of course, I would have some effort to spread that. Oh, that would be a kind of meeting. But I think Pirinópolis not so hard because there are many foreigners there.
Hmm.
Well,
Well, something that I'm planning to do uh, when we reach about 10 members, 15 members, is to organize a picnic.
yeah,
It's really interesting to have a meeting outside, and a meeting outdoors.
it's like
It would.
the Polyglotas Club meeting, right? Do you remember?
Mm, well, I organized in my former group languages. We organized the picnic and it was really good. So I'm planning to do something as long as we have more members here in Matão.
Yeah,
It would be really.
there are the group of Rogério, the polyglotas.
Mhm,
It's a
mhm,
polyglot language. I thought you had been there before. Maybe in July you can attend. They have once a month. I think they will have next weekend in Park Flamboyant. They just get a
mm,
space in the park. They they put some banners like a Club Polyglota and things like that. And
mhm.
they get mat, they get food, they get everything. And the people just sit around and they come a lot of people.
Hmm. I never heard about it. I've organized it in languages. The moment we were there,
Hmm.
but it's a really good idea. And your idea with the club, with the activities. Well, actually, these type of activities is good to straighten the bond between the people who are attending the meetings. It's really important to straighten the bond.
Yes, and for example, if you say a trip, it will be like a brain challenge of many people who never speak English for so long. For
Hmm.
example, can you imagine speak 2 days or 3 days speaking English all the time, morning, afternoon, night? For many people, would
Hmm.
be a really, really brain challenge, brain teaser.
Yeah, it would fit better in a immersion contest.
Yeah, it would be really, really immersive. Yes, exactly. That's the idea. And change a little about subject. I know that you are a
Mhm.
real polyglot, right? You are not an English speaker. I think I know
Yeah,
you
no, no,
speak.
in English.
I would like to hear
Hmm.
about that, about your history, for example. Which language did you learn first? Was English or you other language? And why did you decide to learn the other language?
Sure. Well, the first language I learned, besides Portuguese, was English.
Like most of the people?
And yeah, like most people do. And during my undergraduate course, I was told that German would be a really interesting language because most most companies that in my field of knowledge are German companies. So it would be really interesting for my career. So
At
in this sense,
university,
I
you
studied.
like at university you decide to study German.
Yes, yes, during the university. So after my second year of chemical engineering course, I enrolled in a German school and started.
Wow.
And I don't recall the name of the school.
It
Mm,
was in Campinas.
No, no, it was in São Carlos.
Ah, right, right.
My graduation was in São Carlos. I don't recall the name of the school.
And
But the second school name was IASG.
yes, I know yes. But how is your Germany
Yeah.
today? How is your level of Germany?
Well, um, I'm not studying. I'm not practicing anymore. So I would say it's basic, um, um, intermediate. I would grade it like that.
Yeah, I
I
really
miss many words. Mm.
I
Excuse me?
I think it's really interesting why so many people learn German. When I was attending the polyglot groups in Brasilia, when I was living there, Germany was the second language. It was not Spanish
Mm-hmm.
or French, but it first
Mm-hmm.
English and first German. And so many people speak in Germany that they promoted encounters only with German speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it interesting. Which other country that speak German except Germany?
Well, actually, we have three European countries that have German
But Germany like a
as
second
the
language,
first
right?
language.
Not the main language.
No, as the main language.
Oh, which are they?
Liechtenstein
Oh, I never heard
and
about that.
Austria.
Austria, yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's true. Uh,
yeah.
And how about
Austria.
Croatia? Croatia, right?
Well, Croatia, I think they have their own language.
Yeah, now I'm doubting now.
Croatia. Yeah, they have their own language. But Switzerland,
It's,
they have
it's,
German as their main language.
it's Swiss, right?
Yes, Switzerland. Yeah,
Hmm.
Swiss. Mm-hmm.
All right. And so you first learn English, you second learn Germany. And after that, you start to learn French.
No, no, I started learning Russian when I was doing the master.
Wow.
I started learning Russian.
Why?
Well, because at the beginning, my uncle he spoke Russian for a long time, and he got fluent. Yeah, but the time I was learning Russian with him, he died,
Oh,
and so I stopped learning Russian. But it was like a desire of him to have me speaking a bit of Russian, at least a bit of Russian. And the moment I started my master course, I found out that Unicamp was offering Russian classes.
mm,
But the preference for these classes were for students of the undergraduate courses. So the time I was trying to apply for this, it was not allowed. So I was always almost giving up, but people told me that I could get it as a guest. Yeah.
Ah, right. I know how does it work.
Mm-hmm. So the first week of Russian, there was about 50 people in the classroom. The second, the second week, there was 20 people. The
Wow.
third week, there was only 8 people. And back then, I had talked with the teacher, and she allowed me to get into the classes and do all the things. And the other level, she would apply me a test, and if I passed the test, I could enroll as a regular student. And so I took the test, I passed the test, and I was allowed to start Russian 2, level 2. And so I studied 1 year of Russian.
Wow. And
But this teacher, she retired and on the second year, and I finished my master, and I could not follow the study, so I stopped. But
oh,
I didn't quit. I just stopped learning Russian.
and
I'm thinking about resuming it in the future, but by now it's not possible.
and what do you felt about Russia? What do you think about this name? Because I have no idea how is it Russia.
Well, it's a loving language, you know, and it's kind of it has their technicalities and their characteristics, yeah. So it was a really nice trip to get into Russian. It was really interesting language. It was really challenging and loving to get this. All the verbs, the declinations, the structures of expressing, they are really different from Portuguese, from German, from English,
Uh,
and sometimes they are really funny words. Yeah.
but they have an article, they have prepositions,
No, they have no articles.
and no preposition.
No, no.
They have a verb deflection.
Yes, they have verbs, and basically the endings of the words express the function of the word in the sentence.
Interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
you also learned, and after Russia, you also learned other language, right? French.
Yeah, French. French came on my life when I was in Goiânia,
Ah, right.
and yeah, I another uncle introduced me to the French, and so I started learning French. But in the French language, I did the whole basic level of French.
Ah, got it. And does it confuse your mind? There's so many languages. Sometimes you want to.
No, 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 it didn't. It started like that when I tried to speak Spanish, learning French.
Mhm.
Every time I started saying something in Spanish, I jumped to French and I couldn't finish the sentence.
Ah,
It
you
was really
you you
weird.
you also speak Spanish.
Yeah, I learned Spanish when I in Colombia.
I worked in Colombia. I
So
didn't
I
know this part
decided,
of your history.
yeah, yeah, I worked there for a month and a half in Colombia.
Which city?
Which cities, I must say.
All right, which cities?
Yeah, because the company had projects in many cities in Colombia.
Ah, like a chemical engineer.
So, yes, as a chemical engineer.
Hmm.
It was a painting company, and they have project in many cities in Colombia. So due to these projects, I had to travel inside Colombia, and so I lived in Coveñas.
Hmm.
It's a city on the coast of Colombia.
Hmm.
Then I went to Tunja. Tunja is a city on the mountains
Hmm.
of Colombia. Bogota, naturally.
Hmm.
Bogota was really, I stayed a long time there because of the headquarters of the company. They were located in Bogota. But I also traveled to Barranca Bermeja, traveled to work in Nopon. Opon is a city in the frontier with Venezuela.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how about Cartagena? You didn't.
Oh no, I didn't know Cartagena because there was no projects of the company
It's
back then on
Cartagena, you say,
Cartagena.
right? Cartagena.
Yeah. Neither Cartagena nor Medellin, yeah, nor Cali,
Oh,
but just weird cities,
oh.
non-touristic cities.
And what do you think about Colombia?
Well, it's a really nice country. I recommend everybody to get there and to know Colombia. We have many prejudices about Colombia, and I would say it's the closest in culture with Brazil, in my opinion. The closest.
Hmm. Well,
They are they are very kind with Brazilians. Actually, they love Brazil.
uh,
They know much more about Brazil than we know about Colombia.
I think all the countries I have traveled, the people always love Brazilian people. I think I felt welcome, know the place.
Hmm. Yeah, but I don't feel the same feeling in Chile.
Oh,
I
really?
worked in Chile. Yes, I worked in Chile, and it was quite different. Colombians like Brazil much more than Chilean.
Yeah, I don't, let's say just Canada and Australia didn't feel so welcome to be Brazilian, but the other place, all of them were fine. But even
Hmm.
so, no, no, not big deal. But
Hmm.
so let's see, you speak, of course, Portuguese, mother language, English, Germany, Russian, French, Spanish. You so speak six languages.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
And
Not so crazy.
and all of them, which one do you prefer? For example, which one do you prefer to speak?
Well, I would say German,
Hmm.
but I got a lot of work with German. I still have a lot of work with German.
Hmm. But the one you give you more pleasure to speak would be German. German.
Yes, it would be German and English. I would say it's a draw between German and English.
Interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I ask that because, for example, uh, I'm much more limited, but I just learn English and Mandarin. Of course, my Mandarin is much more limited than English. But
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to speak much more English than Portuguese. I don't like my mother language. I don't know why, but I don't like. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I prefer to speak much more Mandarin than English. And when in China, I go to when I was traveling sometimes in China alone by myself, I just
Mm-hmm.
run away from the people who speak English. The opposite here. I just try to communicate with everyone in the local language. And so when somebody just come here, oh, it's like, oh, foreigner, let's talk English with him. Oh, a foreigner, let's practice my English. And the people like that. When I met this kind of people, I run away of them. And
Mm-hmm.
I, for me, I love to speak Chinese much more than English. But unfortunately, I cannot speak so long. My vocabulary is very, very limited. So my pronunciation is very good, and I defeat the people because the people think I speak a very good Mandarin. So the people, because of my way to speak, they think that I'm really, really speaking. And I don't speak because I don't have vocabulary. So when they reply to me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what they say. In Mandarins, there is other problems. It's hard to talk with people learning Mandarin. You just or you talk with natives or you don't talk.
Mm-hmm. Got
Only
it.
only in China I met some people, most of the European people who speak Mandarin. Like me,
Mm-hmm.
go to stores and I start to talk Mandarin with these people. It's fun. It's so fun. I would like to find this kind of people here, but I don't find.
Well, I would recommend for you to get to Brasilia because Brasilia is a cosmopolitan
It
city.
doesn't work.
It would be easier for you to find
No,
people
not
that
like.
speaks Chinese.
I
No?
lived 2 years there. I
And
attend
you could
the
find anyone?
no, I attend the polyglot meetings every week, 1 or 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week. Never found, never found.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who used to say that they speak. Oh, I'm learning, I'm doing Mandarin tests and things like that. But when I try to talk with them, they couldn't talk. They really couldn't talk. I
Now,
think
my brother-in-law knows a bit of Chinese. My brother-in-law,
yes.
perhaps.
I
I
think
can put you in contact with him
I think
if he's interested, what I don't know.
I think Chinese there is a kind of barrier. I think it's a two-step language because
Mm-hmm.
the pronunciation is very, very complicated. It's, if I tell you how is the pronunciation, you say, "Oh, there is no way to learn that," and that's the truth. There is no way to learn that because you don't learn. You just let it happen. You know, so because I think it's impossible to try to learn. You just let it happen. You just do. You just talk and let it happen. Keep talking, and one day we will be talking, right? So I think the people to cross this line of the pronunciation to from the first step to the second step, I think that's the big deal. And the people on the first step,
Mm-hmm.
they really, really cannot communicate nothing. They can, and there is no secret. It's like you do. I think this the secret is don't learn. The secret is just talk without learning. I think Mandarin is like that. You cannot try to learn because there is no logical. When I had my first
Mm-hmm.
time to China, that opens my mind because I didn't believe that a human being would talk like that. I think it cannot be a human language. What I learned at some months at school, I think that's absolutely no sense. A communication in that way doesn't seem to work. It's logical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Got your point.
how can I have a word with more than 50 meanings, different meanings in a single word? All right. So if I say this word, how the people would understand what I'm saying? Because I'm saying words that have more than 50 meanings. So it's
Well,
crazy.
English is something like that, you know.
No, it's not. English, maybe you have some sounds similar. I'm saying like if you say in Mandarin you say the word "shi," there are more than 50 meanings for this "shi." So it's like you need to get the other word after that or the word before something to get the sentence. Doesn't make logic, doesn't make sense, but it works.
Yeah, because there's something really important when you say she,
Mm,
the context.
yes, yeah, you understand because of the context. That's the truth. You get the context. You got the context, the situation. I think it's very strange. You understand the word about the context, but that's what happened, and it's impressive. How does it work? Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The many words in German they have a word for vocabulary that tells everything. Wortschatz. It's the treasure of the word. Wortschatz. The treasure of the word. Because when you have vocabulary, you have everything. And if you master the vocabulary, you may miss the verbs here and there, but you can express your idea. So the idea in many people change the way we learn English and other languages by focusing on the vocabulary first, then the verbs, and then the grammar itself. So the grammar is the tool to the language, but the real gift is the vocabulary. So if you have a big vocabulary, it's gonna be easy for you to learn the language if you start by having acquiring words. It's more important than know how to put them in order.
Yeah. I don't know, but for example, if you have vocabulary but you don't have grammar, maybe, of course, you say everything wrongly, but at least you will say something, right? You,
Yeah.
you go to restaurant, you say rice, beans, meat, potato, right? All right, you just say the words, but probably the people will understand what you want. And unfortunately, the
Hmm.
opposite doesn't happen, right? If only grammar
Yeah.
is not enough.
Hmm.
Yeah, Mandarin grammar is really, really easy. I think it's the most easy grammar that I saw. But I need to learn vocabulary. I need to come back to vocabulary.
Yeah.
Vocabulary is stopping
Hmm.
me, breaking me.
Yeah. The point is, in my opinion, it works like that. If I don't know the words, I will get stuck really really fast. But if I don't know the grammar,
That's me.
yeah, hmm that's it. You know, if I only know the grammar and I don't know the words, I'm gonna stay speechless.
Exactly.
Hmm. And many people learn the other way and don't make progress. So that's why I really start with this concept. The most important thing, I must have the people getting the words and then using the words. Get the words, use the words. Get the words, use the words. After a long time, understand why you're using this way,
That's cool.
which is the grammar. So, in my opinion, grammar must be the third part.
Yes.
The first part is going to be the vocabulary. The second part is going to be the use of the vocabulary, and the third part, the reason why you're using in such this way, which is the grammar.
And is that technique that you use to teach when you are?
Yes, it's the technique I use to teach.
Amazing. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna this technique is giving the results. The outcome is it's really satisfying to me. I'm having students that are becoming teachers in this way.
That's nice. Julie, I think our time is done.
Oh yeah, sure. 1 hour in
So
a row.
So many things to
Yeah.
talk about. Tell
Yeah,
me,
yeah. Feel free to schedule new talks if you wish. Okay.
yes,
It was really nice to having this conversation with you.
yes, I intend. I was with some problems about some activities I'm doing, but when you said you wanna live at 9 p.m., I thought no. Was so hard for me to plan something for 8 p.m. But 9 p.m. is okay. 9 p.m. I think I can do the activities I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And tell me, when did you come here?
I'm thinking about getting to Goiânia July.
Right.
July. Mm-hmm. But I'll let you know.
Yes.
We still have to hang out here, there actually, and have some beers and
Sure.
put all the things, update all the news
Yes.
from one each other.
Maybe I will travel in July. Not sure. Maybe I'll get some things to do in São Paulo, but it's not nothing confirmed yet. But if for sure, if I travel to São Paulo, will be just the second of week of July. Will be come back here. That's sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
We're gonna arrange a meeting.
sure. Of course, the meetings will be running, right? If I would be travel, maybe Henrique would run the meetings, but the meetings would be running. And of course, here and when you are here, maybe we can let's make more than one meeting per week.
Yeah, no problem at all. I love to talk and I love to meet my friends in Goiânia, and I'll do the possible for us to have the meeting. You can be
Amazing,
sure about that.
amazing.
It was really nice to have you in this conversation. It was really nice for you to having me here, and we can do this more often.
Sure.
Okay?
Let's do it. I'll promote more meetings like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, Julio.
You're welcome, and it was really nice.
All right, so
Hope to see you again soon.
yeah, very soon we'll see in person. Bye, Julio. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
You have to
Right.
close the conversation. I don't know how
Yes.
to do this.
I think I got
Bye bye.
Bye, Julio.